Is that why the crowd is so big today? Because everybody is like, what the fuck is happening? Somebody tell me. I need a tarot reading. Help, help. Is anybody out there screaming, help, help? Um, anyway, hopefully you all made it through. Everything is fine. We're all still here. We're enjoying these energies, trying to make the most of them and trying to figure out how can we apply these in a beneficial way to our life. Somebody said, yes, help, help. All right, we're still letting people in, letting everyone get connected. Been trying to figure out. There we go. Thought there was a problem with the YouTube live. Okay, so we are going. All right. Hi, hello. My name is Valorie Lewis. I am a psychic medium, also a spiritual mentor and teacher, and your host for today's lovely Magical Monday manifestations. Magical because we are all magical beings. Monday because look at a calendar, that's what today is, and I do this every Monday. And manifestations because we come together to get these messages, not just to listen and nod our head, but to use them in practical ways to manifest our life, to make something happen in our life, to craft and create our life on our terms in your own individual way with guidance from spirit. So Magical Money Manifestations over in the chat, you can see Jacqueline has already dropped all the various ways that you can get in touch with me, stay in touch with me, especially that last link, which is the YouTube channel, which, as I just mentioned, we are live broadcast over onto YouTube, which we do every Monday. So if you ever miss the live, you can always catch up and see what messages Spirit has for you for the week by watching the replay or the rebroadcast over on YouTube. All right. Let's get started. So the format of today's event, I often forget to do this because I talk to so many of the same of you come to my event, but then I forget I've got new people all the time. So my apologies if you've ever joined one of these in the past, over the past couple of months, and I just launched right into things and didn't explain what the hell was going on. My apologies. I need to get better at explaining and introducing things. So the way these events roll as first we go through some tarot cards. I allow Spirit to weave its messages in wherever it needs to weave its messages in. So we use the tarot cards as a jumping off point, as a conversation starter. We go through some tarot cards, then we move through oracle cards. And then we do, as time permits, I have time usually to pull a couple of one card pulls for select audience members, just to give you some additional ways. So it's always select, it's always select. It's always randomly drawn individuals. So make sure you keep coming back. Your week might be this week or might be next week. Who knows? And then after we do those one card pulls, I move into a very brief energy activation. An energy activation is just a very brief meditation slash visualization slash just opening yourself up to receive the energies and the messages that spirit feels would be most beneficial for you moving forward this week. I usually don't know what energy we're going to activate until we get through, or at least partway through the reading, and we see what themes spirit wants us to focus on for this week. So that's how today's event will roll. I invite you to get settled in. Take a sip of your coffee. I just said that coffee bit for me. And get relaxed and get ready to open yourself up to receive messages and guidance. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths. Send your intentions, attention, focus, your questions, your areas that you might be pondering and would like more clarity on. Send that all out to the universe, up to spirit, source, wherever that energy resides for you. And then take a deep breath and release it. Let it go. We cannot ask and receive in the same breath, for those are two different energies. So you have done your asking. Are you ready to receive? All right, we're going to start with tarot cards. I'm going to ask, Jacqueline has already put some information over there on how to keep in touch with me. I think I need to get the newsletter link for you, but you can go to my website and figure out how to get in touch with me there. because I do want you guys to start getting signed up for the newsletter. If you're not in contact with me in other ways, at least get in contact with me via the newsletter. Over the weekend, we did the Lionsgate event. That was really great. Yesterday, we did a basic tarot class, it was a free class. It was learning the basics of tarot and like an overview, get comfortable with understanding tarot type of way. And that is also on my YouTube channel. So if you missed the live yesterday and you would like to learn basic tarot, go ahead and check out that recording on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I've got 3 tarot cards, and this last card is like, what's going on, Spirit? What do we need to know for this last card? And why is the energy so weird around me drawing it?
What deck are you using, Valerie?
The deck that we are using is Wisdom from the Dragon Realms, Dragon Tarot, Tarot of the Dragons. So what was I saying? So check out the YouTube channel if you want to know about the basic class. That's on there as a recording. And I also have a special running because beyond the basics, I'm also going to begin teaching a more in-depth, more comprehensive way to learn tarot. And we're starting with the major arcana. That starts at the end of September. And for right now, not for right now, the price for that class it's 6 hours of instruction, and the price for that class is $147. So go ahead and get signed up for that now. Reserve your spots. Let's talk about what messages come through from the tarot, and this is very interesting. Y'all know I do read reversals, but I don't shuffle my deck so that it shows reversals. So when one pops up in my reading, that spirit saying, look and pay attention, Valerie, because your cards don't show up backwards. And when they do, it's because I want you to pay special attention. So our very first card of the week is a reversal. Let me do this so you all can see the cards better. One moment. There we go. We have a Queen of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords. Let's talk about Queen energy. Queen is divine feminine. Queen represents a mastery level of whatever suit she is representing. Here she's representing swords. We'll talk about that in a minute. And divine feminine is that receptive, that allowing, that creative, that inspired, that intuitive side, allowing something in. Here we have the Queen of Swords. Swords is our thinking mind, our thoughts. Swords is air energy. And swords is also about communication. So in the upright, it would be like, yay, everything is going well for you. You're receiving, you're moving, all things are good. But we got this in the reverse, and this is an emphatic reversal because why is she upside down in my deck? She shouldn't be, but she is. This makes sense for me just based upon the energies that are present because we're in Mercury retrograde. And for those of you who know anything about Mercury retrograde, whether you know about it or not, I'm sure you've experienced it. It's been really powerful this time. Mercury is the planet that asks us to examine how we communicate. Mercury is the communicator between the gods. He's the one with the winged shoes that flew around and delivered messages. So when Mercury is sitting his ass down and in retrograde, it's our chance to reflect on how we communicate with others, any things that we may have said that may have impacted others. Can we sit down and reflect on those? It's a beautiful time to just pause instead of running forward. So how fitting that we get swords, communication, the Queen of Swords, and she's in reversal. Makes perfect sense for me. It's saying, hey, don't rush ahead on those communications. Not just yet. Maybe take just a little bit longer to reflect and review to make sure you are approaching this from your queenly energy, from that place of mastery before you proceed. I think that's the message for us this month, this week. But I also think there's another message. So I'm definitely going to go to the book to see what else Spirit wants us to know, especially since they flipped that one on its head. So Queen of Swords. Let's see, what do we need to know with Queen of Swords being in reversal? Is there any additional message you want us to know, Spirit? Let's see. I'm going to read the story. The Queen of Swords knows Let's see. It is spring and a touch of vernal green paints the mountainsides. It is time when egg-bound dragonlets chip and claw their way out into the world, and there's joy in the warming air. There can also be sorrow, for the Queen of Swords knows both of these emotions, especially sorrow, because you're happy that those eggs are cracked and that they're out into the world, but also they were your eggs, and you spent so long caring for them and taking care of them. So both of those emotions mixed in together, which I would say many of us might be feeling with these recent energies. The one of the main themes of these recent energies is I'm trying to do something new in my life. I'm trying to call in something new. I'm trying to manifest something new. Maybe I'm trying to be someone new. And there's that in between space of what I know I don't want because I've experienced enough of life and what I know I do want. But many of us are right in the middle, trying to figure out how to get to what we do want. And that can feel bittersweet. It can feel like, okay, bye, old me, bye, the things that brought me this far. Hello, new you that's not quite here yet. So the grieving of the old ways of life and the excitement that something new has been born, but kind of right in the middle. She's not off playing with her dragonlets. She's taking a moment to reflect. Let's see. This is a queen on her own. She has lost both mate and kin, and now in the morning mist, she stands alone in her nest. It should be home to an infant hatchling, but not this season. Okay, it looks like she lost her child. Let's see. Do. I want to skip ahead to the message of it. Like the mist shrouding mount, I don't know what that mountain is. The Queen of Swords is air behaving as water, cool and aloof. The Queen of Swords is air energy behaving as water. Their karma or fate, or just the vagaries of life, grief and seclusion have shaped her place in the world. She spends her time in reflection, internalizing her loss, learning to value aloneness, learning to value aloneness. In solitude, she finds absence, but she also finds freedom. Away from the clamor and the tumult of others, her bitterness fades. Her intellect and spiritual existence thrives. It is enough. She is clear-eyed and quick-witted and calm in the face of havoc or woe. She suffers no fools and moves with the grace of a dancer. Despite her stoic mien, her heart is dragon-warm and open. Uniquely intuitive, she reads others with ease, yet she herself is almost impossible to decipher. She is the most enigmatic creature. All right. So what did I glean from reading the additional things in the book is that yes, she is social and opening and welcoming and a master of her thoughts and willing to communicate with others. But oftentimes she reminds me of an extroverted introvert. She can go out and be social and impart her knowledge to others. But in order for her to be ready to do that, she has to withdraw, be in solitude, reflect, recharge before she goes out again and shares her wisdom and her knowledge and communicates with others. So maybe we're in that in-between period where we're all alone with our thoughts in reflection. Many of us are in reflection with these energies. And just giving yourself, honoring yourself enough, holding yourself sacred enough to give yourself the space to reflect, to stop feeling the pressure that the society or your contacts might put upon you to keep going, to keep rushing forward. You don't have time to think about this. I need a decision from you right now. I'll give you 2 days. Anybody in any of those cycles or ever experience one of those cycles where you feel like, God, if I could just have a minute to sit down and think this through, and yet you also at the same time feel like, I don't have time to sit down and think this through. I've got to make something happen, or a decision is being asked of me. This is your chance to begin holding yourself more sacred above all else, to begin giving yourself enough time to process on your own terms, on your own timeline, not based upon someone telling you that the deadline is Friday, or someone asking you, I need a decision, or life demands, maybe a bill is due, or something is asking of you to move faster than what feels comfortable for you to move? How can you hold yourself sacred, set boundaries, push pause, and say, no, this is what I need in order for myself to feel fully recharged, to feel fully aware, to feel fully ready for what comes next? I feel like this message is so deep and so multi-layered. It's definitely that queen energy. It's definitely about our thoughts and communication, but it's also about pausing. It's about sitting, and it's about being okay with pausing. It's about how can we rewire ourselves where pausing and rest is good, is needed, is necessary. How can we honor that more? So very deep, I think, message for getting our week started. Let's move on. So next we're going to the Eight of Pentacles. Eight, we've been talking about eights a lot with Lionsgate. Eight is that number of abundance, fertility. Eight is a number of action. We love the number eight. I love the number eight. Eight, turn it sideways, the number of infinity. So think infinite opportunities, infinite abundance, infinite doors opening for you. And Eight of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy. Pentacles is all about what are we manifesting? What are we working with? What's tangible? What do we hold as valuable in this world? So we take the Eight of action and abundance and match it with that earth energy, manifesting energy. This looks good for us. This looks like something is going to feel, we're going to be able to visibly see in our manifested world a reflection of something moving forward in our life, because it's Pentacles. So it's not Eight of Wands where we feel the energy of movement and inspiration and creativity. Not Eight of Cups where we just intuitively know something's about to happen. It's Eight of Pentacles, earth energy, manifested, tangible, where we can begin to see the world reflecting back to us, the movement, the work, the action that we've put in. I want to pause for a minute because Spirit is correcting me in this moment. Not so much of a correction as a additional information to what I just said. Where we see the manifestation of the work we've put in was something along the lines of what I just said. And Spirit stopped me in the moment because the message that came through from Spirit is you all would fare so much better if you stopped viewing your world. If you stopped viewing your creations in terms of transactions. And what that means is, as humans, we often think, I do this work, I get this reward. That's a transaction. How much work do I have to do to get to what I want? Well, the bigger my reward, the bigger work I have to do. Most of us think that, right? If I want the Lamborghini and the 15-room mansion, well, I better put a lot of value out into this world so that I can be revered, and so that I can have a lot of value come back to me, transactional. A lot of times we think of our manifestations and the things that we want in life in terms of little or big. How much output do I need in order to get this goal? Transactional. And Spirit said we would fare far better if we stopped thinking of our manifestations in terms of transactions. So for me, what that meant was, if you're trying to call something in, can you move away from the idea that you have to provide X amount of value, or you have to move through X amount of shadow work, or you have to put out or raise your vibration X amount of voltage levels, or move into, can you instead say, I want this thing, I'm worthy of this thing, I'm a creator. I don't remember God asking permission before he created shit. He just created shit. And God said I was made in his image, for those of you that believe that narrative. So I'm a creator. Why can't I just create what I want? Maybe I came here and my purpose and my mission is to move through the steps of creation, whatever those creation steps might be for me on my journey, to create something, not to earn it, not to prove that I've done enough work in order to get it, but just to move through the steps of creation until I've created the thing that I want. That's not transactional, that's creation. So I think a lot of times as humans, as we began moving through the steps of creation, because we're in this world where comparison is a thing, we started looking at our neighbors moving through their steps of creation. And we started looking at that person who's only one step away from the thing that they're trying to create. And we started saying, oh, if I'm not at my place like Tom is, maybe I've done something wrong. Maybe I haven't done enough. And we start comparing and we start adding value to our journey in inappropriate ways. And we start making our journey more about transaction and more about doing and less about the creation. So if we can get back to there's something I want to create, here I am in my existence, and I'm just moving through the steps to create it. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to do these steps right because my creation is my creation. I just have to keep moving through the steps of creation until the thing that I want is created. Think about when you were a little kid and you drew a picture. Somebody handed you a blank sheet of paper and some crayons and said, draw something. What did you draw? How did you move through that? You picked up the colors that felt good to you. You didn't think too much about anything else. You just wanted to draw something. You were in it. I watch little kids draw pictures and they don't go through the same machinations that adults do. Do I have the right paints? Did I provide the right coverage for my work surface? Oh, I should have bought that higher grade paint. I should have got the better quality paper. Kids don't give a shit about that. They just create. Can we get back to that just creating? Eight of Pentacles. What do you want to create today? And how can you make the creation about the creation and not about the transaction? Ooh, we're spending a lot of time on tarot this morning. All right, let's move on. Seven of Swords. Swords, back to our air energy, back to our thinking mind. Seven of Swords often represents being sneaky, being strategic, deceit, trying to get away with something. There's a young dragon trying to sneak that bone away from the sleeping dragon and trying to do so without waking up the dragon. That's the sneakiness, that's the deceit, that's the maybe even thievery. So Seven of Swords represents something not being on the up and up, would be an easy way to put that. But what if that big old dragon was a mean dragon? And what if he stole that bone from that baby dinosaur and his family, and this baby dinosaur is trying to get it back because grandma's at home sick? Who knows what the story is? Who's the bad guy in this scenario? Who knows? Is there a bad guy? What if it's just a game? What if that's a mother and a child? And mama says, oh, I'm sleepy. And she pretends to go to sleep and baby tries to sneak the lunch away. What if it's just a game and there's no bad guy? We don't know, but we sure made up a whole bunch of stories before alternate suggestions were given about what might be going on in this card. What and how are you doing that in your own life? How are you making up negative stories about what's going on in your own life based upon what you know, based upon the surface, based upon how things look, without allowing alternate things to be true? How are you trapping yourself in your own stories? When I was 8 years old, Tommy stole my water bottle and I've never been the same. Okay, as long as you keep telling that story, that's absolutely true for you. Is there a different way to tell that story, though? Maybe Tommy had a water bottle that looked just like yours, and he thought he was grabbing his own water bottle and taking it home. And Tommy never meant you no harm. But 50 years later, you're still talking about that damn water bottle and how it's traumatized you. Where in your life are you telling stories, swords, you're thinking thoughts? Where in your life are you telling stories where maybe you could reframe it? Maybe there's something else that happened, or maybe if nothing else happened, maybe you could still tell a better story that would serve you better because you get to craft and narrate your own story ultimately. Whether it's true or not, is it serving you? Whether it's true or not, is it serving you? And if it's not serving you, whether it's true or not, how long are you going to keep repeating that story if it's not serving you? That's the point. All right. And then pentacles again. So we've got nothing but swords and pentacles. Swords and pentacles, swords and pentacles. How are your thoughts shaping your reality? Swords and pentacles, another pentacle. Five of pentacles. Pentacles, earth energy, tangible world, things that we hold valuable. Fives represent challenges and opportunities. I think this is a result of holding on to stories that aren't serving us, puts us in a position where we are challenged by our thoughts, challenged where our manifestations become more challenged and more difficult than they need to be. Five of Pentacles. So this Five of Pentacles is the scene of a forest burning down, and the dragons and the forest creatures all have to flee because their home is being burned down, destroyed. Five of Pentacles is also the card of not seeing your resources. It's the idea of feeling as if something has been withheld from you. It's often a scene of lack or a scene of missing something. So here they have lack because they've all lost their home. But it's also in that same instance, you're not seeing your resources. So the Five of Pentacles in traditional tarot shows a couple or a couple of people who are down on their luck. One is probably has leprosy, another one is barefoot. It's cold outside, there's snow on the ground. They don't have proper clothing. It looks like they probably haven't eaten in a couple of days, and they're trudging down the road with their heads down, not looking, and they're crossing right by a church. So yes, they are in a period of lack or not having enough or scarcity or probably even physical misalignments within their body. In the case of the one character who has leprosy, yes, it is real for them. But guess what? Because their heads are down and because they're focused on their own woes and their own victimhood and their own troubles, they can't even see the church that is right there. And the church has warmth inside, has offerings of hope, has someone who will probably sit and pray with them, probably even offer them a meal, offer them some money, offer them a place to stay. But they can't see it because they're so involved, head down in their own troubles and their own woes. How can you manifest the things that you want from a place of scarcity and lack? That's the question. I can tell you how not to do it. Don't focus on the scarcity and lack. Pull your head up and say, yep, I sure am barefoot in the snow, but Spirit, I know you got my back. So instead of looking down at my feet and complaining about how cold they are and how far I've walked with no shoes, which is what most of us do, instead of doing that, I'm going to put my head up and trust. And I'm going to say, this is not the place I want to spend the rest of my life. I'm in a very bad situation. I know it's real for me, but also I know Spirit has my back. And if that person had lifted their head up and started looking around, they would have said, well, there's a church. I wonder if I could just go sit down for a little while and let my feet warm up. You can't see it if you're focused on the lack. You can't see the opportunities. You can't see the gifts and the manifestations. This is not Spirit saying, oh, my child, I see you in your woe and your lack. Let me bless you with something until you can move into the next period of woe and lack. No, no. This person, that church showing up was in direct questioning, direct answer to the asking of that individual. They couldn't see the answer because they were focused on the lack. They manifested the bare feet, they manifested the snow, They manifested the lack. They manifested the scarcity. And from that place, they also manifested the answer. They manifested the warmth. They manifested the shelter. They manifested someone inside who would probably pray for them. It's not the universe that gifted it to them. It's their own manifestation powers. And based on where we're focused, we either see those manifestations or we don't. Five of Pentacles. What stories are you telling? That's creating your life. And when you create something undesirable, how long do you focus on that undesirable thing? Or Five of Pentacles, challenges and opportunities. When do you lift your head so that you can see the opportunity that is also simultaneously presented to you when you create your own obstacles? Where is our opportunity that we have manifested? A lot of us get caught up in begging the universe to give us some kind of relief, begging something outside of ourselves to come and save us. And I feel like the universe is saying, hey, I was with you in the beginning when you all were young humans, young species. But now I'm trying to remind all of you, I'm trying to wake all of you up to remind you that you are creators. I walked with you and showed you how to create. And you asked me a lot of times to create on your behalf, and I did, but I did it only so I could show you how you can do this for yourself. So I feel like at this point, we're all getting shooken and woken up and reminded that we are the creators. It's like going from being a young bird in a nest. We're still a fucking bird, but in the beginning stages, mama has to go get the food and bring it back to us. And then at some point, mama's like, yo, I got things to do for myself. I want to hatch another group of young birds. I'm not going to keep feeding you forever. I showed you how to do it. Now I need you to get out of the nest and do it on your own. I feel like right now the universe is saying, I need you to get out of the nest and do it on your own. It was great for you to ask me for blessings and ask me for manifestations in the beginning because I was showing you. But I've shown you, you all are creators. When are you going to start creating on your own? When are you going to stop begging me for your sustenance and learn that you are the creator of your own universe, your own reality? That's the challenges and the opportunities I feel right now. We are being faced with our own creative energies and how can we better use them in an empowering sense? Not that the universe is not there for us, because it's always there for us, but the universe is kind of backing off a little bit in that it's saying, I've taught you all I know how to teach you. Now it's time for Earth as a whole to begin creating the way you all intended to create when you came forth. All right, let's move on. There it is. It's that card. We're going to move on to Oracle cards now. And the deck I'm going to, speaking of the universe and the universe saying, I got your back, the universe has your back. This is a deck by Gabrielle Bernstein. The universe has your back.
Were there only three tarot cards?
There were four.
What did I miss?
And we have the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and then the last one was the Five of Pentacles.
Ooh, I just called that one another third. Okay, it was a fourth. Thank you.
And then we have the universe has your back. Our oracle card from that one is, ooh, I like it. I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries that protect good feeling emotions. Kind and loving towards others, so I'm gonna still be me, regardless of what other people are out there doing. I'm gonna still be kind and loving. But I'm also going to create clear boundaries which protect my emotions, my good feeling emotions. What does that mean for you? That means I'm willing to be a nice person. For me, it means I'm willing to be, no, it's not even I'm willing to be a nice person, because that makes it sound like I'm not a nice person. I am a nice person, damn it. It means I'm willing to show up and be myself, but I'm also willing to set strong boundaries that say, I'm showing up and being myself, and I expect to interact with people who are showing up and being themselves. And if you're not ready to do that, that's okay, but I'm not going to hang out here. That's cool. You do you. You be on your own journey, but I'm not going to hang out here. That's one way to create clear boundaries, because then that protects your good feeling emotions. I'm sure that one doesn't need a lot of going into. It was just a kind of way of the universe saying, I have your back, but you've got to do your part too. You've got to do your part too. Where are you needing to um, re-examine where you have set your boundaries? Is someone currently crossing a boundary into your space, causing you to not feel so good when they show up and when they're sharing space with you? Are your good feeling emotions unable to surface during those times of interaction? Then it sounds like that card was for you, and maybe you need to re-examine where your boundaries are, or re-examine who you spend time with, because that's a boundary too. And ask yourself, how can I better protect my good feeling emotions? All right. What else do we need to go to? I think the next deck I'm going to go to is Beyond Lemuria. Beyond Lemuria is an oracle deck. It's got an interstellar theme to it. Look at that. I love that light language in the background. It's got an interstellar theme to it. Lemuria is one of the ancient civilizations, kind of like Atlantis, considered to be inhabited by those from the stars, interstellar beings. So, before I say that, I also want to say I do provide one-on-one readings as well. For those of you that are new, you can go to my website, To Run Unicorns and Coffee, click on readings and book a reading with me if you would like your own individual reading to give you some guidance on your path forward. Y'all, this could not be a better card. So again, the deck we're pulling from is Beyond Lemuria. I've already pulled the card, and this could not be a better card. I'm so excited. It's card number 53. 5 and 3 added together is 8. And the message is transformation. If y'all hung out with me on 8/8, you know that Lionsgate is all about transformation. This year we talked about transformation in what areas of our life and how it would affect us. But transformation being the theme, of course I would pull this card on the Monday following Lionsgate. And of course this deck would label this card 53, which adds up to 8. Of course, Spirit, I get it. I see you winking at me. Let me hold up the card, the image. Transformation. And let's go to the book and see what card number 53 is all about. The key words are self-nurturing, going within, time alone, being present with your feelings, cocooning before the butterfly, being gentle on yourself, and angelic embrace. As I look at this again, maybe she is inside some type of cocoon. I hadn't quite seen it that way at first. This painting, this is the author talking about the card. This painting started with the name. I needed a hug, so I painted one. Aww. During the creation process, the image underwent a profound transformation that paralleled the journey I was taking deep within myself. This card signifies going inward and being truly present with wherever you are at in your process. It emits a sense of self-nurture and space that is held as a container for our delicate and vulnerable gestation periods. The final image is filled with blessings, like an angelic embrace. This care emanates from the being, implying that she is creating it for herself. Ooh, if that did not line up with the whole riff I just went on with that last card, the spiritual download, let me read that part again. The final image that this artist came up with is filled with blessings. Maybe each one of those points of light or stars represents a blessing. It's filled with blessings. Now, remember we talked about no longer begging the universe for the blessings? Filled with blessings like an angelic embrace. This care emanates from the being, implying that she is creating it for herself. The most powerful healing comes from a place of presence and acceptance for all that doesn't try to fix anything or push things away. I love that. The divinatory meaning, feel whatever you need to feel. It may be hard to be present with some parts of yourself. Bring them into a cocoon of gentle self-love and reflection, and insight will come. The shadows can be released, and your heart space will soften. Cry or be angry if this is what you are holding on to, and laugh at the hilarious, ironic, divine protection of it all. Divine perfection of it all. This card beckons you beyond your constructed outer self, where you can delve into the beautiful abyss of your being. Revel in the twilight before the dawn. Revel in the twilight before the dawn, and let your wings unfurl. It's back to that space in between again. She's in that in between space. She's taking time for self-care, for reflection. She's creating her own blessings because maybe the world hasn't blessed her in the ways that she thought she was going to be blessed. So she's going into this space where it's just herself and she's creating her own blessings. She's caring for herself. She's nurturing herself. She's moving away from the constructed outer self and delving into the beautiful abyss of her being. The twilight before the dawn, that in-between space again, transformation. How are you transforming in the in-between space? Are you using this space for transformation, or are you fighting it tooth and nail because you're not who you used to be and you're not who you want to be yet? Or can you relax into that space and ask yourself, from this space, what do I want to create next? Because that question is going to benefit you far more from why am I here? What's going on? Help me, which I've done my fair share of this past week. But I'm saying once I shifted into the, okay, since I am here, what am I going to do about it? I may have still been crying and whining when I said it. But when I shifted into that line of questioning, things started to get better. Okay, I am here. Fair enough. Might not have all the answers. Fair enough. But what do I want from this space of chaos, from this space of transformation? Ooh, y'all, those are some powerful questions to ask while you are in that in-between space. What do I want while I'm in this chaos of creation? How can I pull together the pieces of me? How can I pull together the creative energy out of this chaos and create from within the chaos what I want so that when I emerge, the wings that I have, if we put that in butterfly terms, are the colors that I want them to be. It's the wingspan that I want. I'm not just going to give up and let the universe have its way with me. Now that I'm here, I'm going to create the way I want to create. Maybe I want 4 wings instead of 2 wings. Maybe I want them to have glitter. Whatever. What do you want to create? Now that you're in the goo, now that you're in the messy part, what do you want to create? How can you take back control of your life by being the creator of your life? All right, let's lighten things up a bit before we move into the one card readings, and we're going to move to Rebel deck, which has a unicorn on it. Rebel deck, the Oracle with Attitude. Many of you know me by my other moniker, which is Goddess with an Attitude. I'm the founder of Tarot Unicorns and Coffee, but I also go by Goddess with an Attitude. So this one is right up my deck, the Oracle with an Attitude. Let's see what messages we can get from Spirit as we move out of this space. I do feel like many of us are emerging from this chaos, from this period of reflection, emerging, but not fully emerged yet. So as we emerge, what do we need? Is there anything that can help us fully emerge and that can help us create what we want before we get out the other side? Detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. Detox. All right, I see some people laughing about that. Y'all like that message, but also spiritual overtures, because when we're in that period of transformation, we need to make space for the things that we're calling in. How do we make space for the things that we're calling in? Detox. Maybe you need to physically make space in your body and you need that smoothie or that enema to move out some stuff that's kind of stuck so that you can move some energy into your body that feels more healthy. Maybe you need a physical detox. Maybe you need a space, an energetic detox. Maybe there are some people in your life that you need to unfriend or move away from, or at least stop following them on Facebook and spying on them and reading their toxic posts. Maybe at the least just stop doing that and throw some shit out. Physical space detox, especially if you are trying to manifest physical things into your life. It doesn't matter what physical things that you are trying to manifest into your life. Doing a physical space detox can benefit you. I don't have all of the ins and outs of why it works. I just know it works because it's worked for me. And it doesn't have to be correlative, meaning maybe you're trying to manifest a new car and you say, Valorie, my driveway is empty. That's why I'm trying to manifest a new car. There's nothing I need to clean out of my driveway. I've swept it a couple of times, but that's it. That's not what I'm talking about. Figure out where else in your life you could detox. Maybe clean out that junk drawer. Maybe straighten up your bathroom cabinets. Doing something physical with the intention of I am cleaning space in my life to allow new things to come in does not have to be correlative. You can clean out a junk drawer and the next day you get a message about a car in your budget that you like that car. You've been looking at it for a while. So it's about physically moving something in your space as a signal to the universe and as a signal to your nervous system and a signal to your brain and a signal to yourself that says, I'm ready for something new. So detox, throw out some shit, declutter, move things around if you're trying to do physical manifestations, if you're trying to manifest something else, there's health. Maybe you need to do a physical, a health detox, whatever it is. You need to make space in your life during these transformative energies so that you can call in the next best thing for you. All right. I think I want to pull one more card, but not from this deck. We need a pep talk. We got a lot of talk about some things that we could work on. It all feels pretty positive to me, and I all feel like we're up for the challenge. But let's see what else Spirit is going to remind us of. Affirmations for a badass, because we're all badasses. This card fell out, so let's read this one. I'm not a sunrise. I'm the fucking sun. Of course that card would fall out. I'm not a sunrise. I'm the fucking sun. To me, that is a reminder of you are the creator. You are the creator. You're not just the creation. I'm not just the sunrise, just a reflection of someone else creating me. I am the fucking sun. I was created in the image of the creator. I don't care if you read that line in the Bible. I don't care where you got that from. That theme is repeated throughout history because it's a remembrance for all of us as humans. We were created in the image of whatever it is we believe created us, which means we are creators as well. And I feel like a lot of us have been walking this world as solely the creation, forgetting we are also the creator. So you're not just the sunrise, you are the motherfucking sun. You all are the creators of your life. So begin acting like it, damn it. What do you want to create today? Magical Monday manifestation, a perfect time to sit in that energy and ask yourself, what do I want to create today? I am a creator. Because that crazy psychic online just told me I was, damn it, and that's all the information I need. So what am I going to create today? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the one card draws here. We have a couple of minutes. I already see people who've been with me a couple of weeks. They already know what I'm about to do because they're already putting pick me over in the chat. So if you would like a one card draw, you don't have to come on camera for this, but I'd be happy to pull one card for a few of you. Go ahead and put pick me over in the chat. I think I flipped some of my cards around. Nicole, you're up first. Nicole gets 5 of Swords. We just pulled this card from a different deck for the group pool for everyone. 5 of Swords. Did we pull 5 of Swords? No, we didn't. My apologies. We pulled 7 of Swords. 5 of Swords, challenges and opportunities. This is asking you to really, really think about where are your thoughts focused lately. It feels as if with the 5 of Swords, your thought, this is the image Spirit just gave me, Nicole. Remember I talked about being barefoot in the snow and how if you're looking at your feet and thinking about how you don't have shoes and how cold you are, that you're going to miss the signs around you. Spirit said you're not exactly barefoot in the snow and focused on your feet. They showed you with one eye down, focused on one of your feet, and the other eye kind of looking towards the opportunities. So it's like you're still not seeing the full everything that's available to you because you're going back and forth between, oh, I wish there was a church. Is that a church? Can't tell if it's a church because goddamn, my big toe just fell asleep and it's frozen now and frostbit. It's like you're going back and forth between, I'm really trying not to focus on it, but oh my God, it hurts so bad. So I'm going to look at it for just a second right here. So that 5 of Swords for you is getting out of that back and forth energy and deciding, it's completely up to you, deciding which thoughts are best serving me. Is it serving me to look at reality and keep telling everyone how real my reality is? I am barefoot in the snow. I want people to understand I'm barefoot in the snow so they understand why I whine about life so much. I have to make sure everybody knows I'm barefoot in the snow. Okay, sure. Keep carrying that energy forward. How's that working out for you? Or maybe you could start speaking about the things that you really want out of life. All right. Brent. Brent gets the King of Swords card. King of Swords, divine masculine mastery, swords, thoughts, communication. King of Swords, Brent, for you, I don't feel like there's any actual shift or change type of message. It's more like an affirmation of where you are, but it's more like a remember the power you hold with your words, with your communication. Remember the power you hold. You are in divine mastery, divine masculine energy, which means masculine is the actionary, which means a lot of times when you speak, shit happens. That's powerful. So take a moment to recognize how powerful that gift is and to make sure you're using it in a way that benefits yourself and benefits others. It's kind of like a with great power comes great responsibility type of reading that I'm getting, type of messaging that I'm getting. Just a reminder of where you are, but also a reminder of the responsibility that that power or that skill set holds for you. All right. Let's see. Who else? Just a second here. We got about 3 minutes. I'm going to do one more. Someone is asking for links to my tarot class. You can find my tarot class. I'm not going to, because we're so short on time, I'm not going to go find it. But if you go to my website, Tarot Unicorns and Coffee, and click on the tab that says Learn, the drop-down menu will say courses and something whatnot, and it'll be one of the first courses listed there. It's the Tarot, a Fool's Journey for the Major Arcana. So moving on, who did I just say I was reading for? Did I say yet? Uh-oh, ruh-roh. Did I pick somebody yet? I did not. Okay. Kier Nelson, K-I-R Nelson. Justice, Balance, card number 11. Card number 11 is Major Arcana, which means this is going to be an overarching theme for your entire life, touching all areas and themes in your life, not just the day-to-day, not just right now. Justice deals with natural law. I'm reading from the book. Natural law, the deck is Light Seers, in case you didn't know, sorry. Natural law, balance, karma, truth, wisdom, legal matters, fairness, cause and effect, integrity, objectivity, perspective, and accountability. Justice asks you to learn from your past experiences, the good, the bad, and the fugly. Take it all and grow from it. This energy is not about perfection, but about fairness and honesty. I'm not going to read the whole thing because that is a recurring theme for us all as we are faced with all of these retrogrades and all of these energies and all of just this period of reflection, which we often go into towards the end of the year, the latter part of the year. We're moving into fall, where many of us, just like the seasons, get into that slower pace that let me slow down, let me review. So action or justice is asking you to review and learn from your past experiences, from all of them. And I feel that theme of reframing your story coming back up again. So you're looking over your past, but are you framing those stories in ways that might benefit you instead of ways that might disempower you? Let's see. Anything else? Seek to balance your growth with both positivity and shadow and learn from the many different parts of you. Learn from the many different parts of you. I love that. I love that because another big theme for many of us is reclaiming those fragmented parts of self and learning how to integrate them so that we can become the whole version of ourselves that we intended to become. So I haven't left much time for an activation, so it's going to be super, super fast. Right now, the activation, the energy that we're going to ask to call in from spirit is just to ask us, it's just to allow ourselves to receive the guidance that is best going to benefit us. So it's more like an affirmation, something that we can quietly say out into the universe, and it's really quick. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath. I'm going to say this statement or this affirmation aloud, and maybe you want to repeat it to yourself. Spirit, I promise to give myself time to hold myself sacred. I promise to do my best to create space in my day and my life to truly become the creator I intended to be. I promise to pause long enough to reflect on the lessons and the experiences that have brought me this far, and to also take stock of what I am ready to release and let go of. In this moment, Spirit, I ask you to show me what I need to see and what I need to know in order to move forward on my path in a more joyful way. Take a moment to let that settle in. Open yourself up to receive any additional messages that might come through for you. And if you do get those additional messages, go ahead and jot them down, journal about them, record them in some way so that they can continue to serve you throughout the week. All right. Thank you, everyone. This has been a great reading, great energies. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for participating over in chat. Please take these messages and apply them and create your life and manifest the way you intended to manifest. All right. See you all back here next week. Bye, everyone.